dun. Pretty cool. Hey kids, it's Mr. Bologno and friends. Thanks for joining us on this first part of our Cityscape art unit. It's going to be a blast. Come join us as we travel around and check out all the fabulous cityscapes that artists have done throughout the years. Yay! So, we're going to first check out a lot of what are called cityscapes in art. What a cityscape means is a picture, drawing, painting, print, any type of art that has a city as its subject matter. So before we do that, I need to pull over because it's not safe to be talking about this while driving. Hold on one second. Oh, there's a parking spot right there. Okay, now that I pulled into this great parking spot, I can tell you all about this art lesson. Today's learning target is I can create a cityscape using a variety of geometric lines, shapes, and patterns. The very first cityscapes I wanted to share with you are actually done by me. You all know that I like to connect what we learn in art with things in our everyday life. And here I wanted to share with you 3 of my examples of one of my favorite cities in the whole wide world. And that, as you can tell, is the city of Chicago. Following my examples, you will notice that many artists have been inspired by the city life. When I think of big cities, I think of tall buildings, loud noises, different colors, the variety of shapes. Every one of these art pieces depict a different mood. It's vibrant, it's bold, it's colorful, it's brilliant, it's amazing. Now I could spend the whole entire art class talking about and sharing all kinds of cityscape art with you, but we are going to focus on a specific artist and his style. That artist's name is James Rizzi. James Rizzi, who is pictured here, was born in 1950 in Brooklyn, New York. He studied art in Florida, where he started experimenting with printing, painting, and sculpting. Rizzi's work often shows his birthplace, New York. What makes Rizzi's artwork truly unique is the fact that he makes his cityscapes have a personality. What I mean by that is when you look at the buildings, most of them have a face. They have face details. They have eyes, they have nose and a mouth, and we all know that real buildings don't have these things. Rizzi used his imagination quite a bit, and you could tell that he was having fun while doing his art. It's obvious when we look at his examples here that he loved using brilliant and bright colors. He even said that a couple of the artists that inspired him are Pablo Picasso and Paul Klee. Now that we had a chance to look at all this fun work by James Rizzi, guess what? We are going to make a cityscape inspired by his style, and we're going to use our own imagination. It's going to be a lot of fun. So right now, grab a pencil, grab your sketchbook, and let's get started. All right, kids, I have my sketchbook and I have a sharpened pencil and I'm ready to go. I'm ready to start my cityscape. First step, I think you should turn your sketchbook. If you make your city this way, I don't think you'll have enough room for all the buildings that you might want to add. Now, when I say geometric lines, remember when I said the learning target, that you're going to use geometric line shapes and patterns? Geometric lines and shapes are like straight lines and squares and rectangles and triangles. Not to say you can't use certain shapes like ovals and circles, but the majority of your city should be geometric lines and shapes. I am going to start with, whenever you start any kind of landscape, well, this is a cityscape, an outdoor scene, you want to start with the horizon line, close to the bottom, and it's going to be from one edge of the paper to the other. This could be like my sidewalk or the street. It's really up to you. It really doesn't matter where you start. I'm thinking about, when I draw a big city, I'm thinking about having a variety of tall and short buildings. So we're doing the outline of the buildings first. I'm gonna start in the middle, draw a line. If you wanna use a ruler, you can, but when you look at Rizzi's work, it's cartoony. He wasn't really worried about making it exactly straight. So I'm drawing this, what you call freehand. And I'm going to start with one tall building. Kind of looks like the Willis Tower, right? Since it does look like the Willis Tower, I'm going to draw the two antennas. For my second building, I'm gonna place it here. Since I'm going to do the theme of Chicago, I'm going to draw a diamond shape. And then at this point, I'm going to draw a line going down. From this point, a line going down. This point, a line going down. Some of you are like, ooh, I've seen a building like that before. Yeah, it's in Chicago as well. And then here, I'm going to draw a building. It's really tall. It's not as tall as the Willis Tower. Draw the top of the rectangle, go back down, then I think this one needs antennas as well. That's called the John Hancock building. Now there's many, if you do just like 2 or 3 buildings, that's not exactly a big city, right? I still have plenty of room. I have space here. I'm going to draw a wider building, almost like a square shape. Maybe a smaller building here. It's in between these two. Maybe a building, a rectangle here. Notice I stop at this line because that shows that this building's in front of that one. Maybe I'll draw another skinny building back here. I am being very careful as I draw. That building's behind those two. I'll have a skinny building here. And then there you go. That's the basic shapes. That's the geometric shapes of the skyscrapers. I balanced out my whole composition, my whole picture, by making sure I had buildings from left to right. Now, here's the fun part. Not to say that this part wasn't fun. This is the really, really fun part. You can add different facial details to each of your buildings. When you click on the Seesaw template, you will see that with the slides 2, 3, and 4, I added a sheet for different types of eyes, different types of noses, and different types of mouths. You can mix and match, or if you have a different way of drawing these facial details, go right ahead. Each of your buildings will have its own personality. It really depends on the types of facial details that you place on it. Have fun! So I now finished adding a face to all of the buildings. Now, if you have buildings in the back, I know I'm adding them now, it would be too hard to add faces to those. They're just hidden in the back. So don't worry about that if you have buildings that are that small, okay? But any buildings where you think, oh, I have enough space to draw a face, do that, okay? I'm excited to see what you come up with. Now, we're not done. Not only did Rizzi have faces on each of his buildings, he also had patterns, geometric patterns. And when you look at the buildings, they're the windows, the doors, right? And he designs. So then, after adding the facial details, I would like for you to add designs and patterns on each of the buildings. If you see any big spaces that need something, I recommend adding a detail. Don't rush though. Here's a big space. I am going to add, oh, I heard some of you yelling it out. That's a perfect spot in my picture for a sun. But in the Rizzi style, in the Rizzi cartooning style, I'm going to give it a face. I'm gonna finish up my drawing with, this looks blank, with a street, maybe even a sidewalk. So let me do that real quick. And there you have it, my fellow artists. I finished my pencil drawing of my Rizzi style cityscape. I'm really happy with it. Now, when you're done with your pencil drawing, don't color it. Make sure to send it to your art teacher on Seesaw. So definitely take a good pic. And oh, I need to write my name in the corner. I always write my name and date it. Okay, guys, have fun doing yours. Oh wait, before I go, little Mr. Bologna has something to say to you.
Oh, kids, I cannot wait to see your work. I know you're going to do a great job, but remember, take your time. But also try to include details in every space of your picture, like James Rizzi.
All right, little Mr. Bologna, I know you want to keep talking to the artists, but we really need to get going because I don't want to get a ticket for my car being parked in an expired meter, all right? Okay, thanks for joining us, everyone. We will see you next time when we do part 2 of the Cityscape unit. If you have any questions at all, ask your art teacher. They're right there with you. Or if you're watching this on your own, you can contact them on Seesaw. Okay, let's go, guys. To the Artmobile.